Before you this morning are two cases, the first of which is 24 CR 245, captioned State of Ohio versus Stephanie E. Doles. And the second is 26 CR 316, also captioned Stephanie E. Doles. Judge, we are here for sentence in both cases. With respect to the earlier case on April 22nd of 2026, the defendant waived her right to a final hearing as a result of a probation violation in response to the motion that was filed in March of 2026, and the matter was deferred for sentence. And in case 26-316, the defendant pled guilty to 2 counts. Count 1 was a charge of possession of cocaine, a felony of the 5th degree, in violation of ORC 292511, and count 2 was an OVI, a misdemeanor of the 1st degree, in violation of ORC 451119, and that matter was also referred to the probation department, and the matter was deferred for sentence until today. The defendant is present today in court with counsel, Mr. Kerr, and we are here for purposes of that sentence.
All right, Mr. Kerr, go ahead.
Yes, briefly, Your Honor. Most of this we already discussed in chambers, or you've received letters that I've submitted, obviously, on Ms. Dole's behalf. I just would point out to the court that I think that she has suffered some pretty significant consequences as a result of her her relapse. As the court knows, she suffered compartment syndrome, which is an extremely serious condition. She's never going to walk right again. This has hampered her employment opportunities. She was previously a server. She recently had a job at Bob Evans and just basically found she just couldn't quite cut it yet. Obviously, so that's a lifelong consequence that she has served, and it will be a crucial, significant reminder of how important it is that she maintains her sobriety. But I think it's very important to note that she's taken extensive steps to show that she is very serious about her recovery. They've been imperfect, we acknowledge that, but she did complete the 3.5 program, which is basically a full residential program, a 45-day program at New Beginnings. As the court knows, she did have a single episode relapse, and she makes no excuses for that. But I think it's important to note the timeline of how she responded to it. It happened on approximately July 2nd. On July 3rd, everything was closed, as the court will remember, for the July 4th holiday. So she was able to get in for an assessment early the following week. She promptly checked herself back into another residential program, the 3.1, where she is successfully undergoing treatment currently. Since then, she's had a negative drug test. She's on the wait list for housing and sober living, which she will eventually transition to. She's going to plan to be at the Jefferson House. I feel that the move to Ashtabula is a good one for her in a number of ways. It removes her from old contacts that could have given rise to temptation, gives her a new set of surroundings. On the other hand, it does keep her further away from her family she's very close to. But she is interviewing to be a manager at Pizza Hut, as the court knows as well. We mentioned previously, she's doing a medically assisted treatment program as well. She reports that for the first time she has no cravings, and it's also helping her with the pain that she suffers, the nerve pain. We'd ask the court to consider that she has upcoming medical procedures and surgeries. She needs to keep doing her physical therapy. Any sort of additional incarceration will severely jeopardize the progress that she's making both physically and with her recovery. I think Stephanie can do this. I think she's doing everything she can to make sure she does it. I think she's keeping in close contact with her sponsor, who's here today. I think I might like to say a few words on her behalf, if that's okay with the court. Stephanie has a lot of potential. She's a college graduate. She's very smart. She's very gregarious. This has been a struggle for her, but I would point out she did 18 months of probation successfully. She did 3 years she was sober for 3 years previously, from I believe 20 to 2020 to 2023, approximately. This is not something that she cannot do. And with the Suboxone combined with a very dedicated treatment program, strong support around her, she can turn the corner, she can move past this, she can live a productive life, and she can realize the potential that she has.
All right, Ms. Dawes, what do you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
Should I stand? Or no?
Sure.
Whatever you want to do.
I'll stay sitting. Everything Justin said was true. I think I should have taken advantage of the MAT services before I did. I think I should have realized Walter as a stronger support before I did. I let myself be talked out of a lot of things for various reasons, especially with the MAT program, because I was always worried about withdrawal and I was always worried about being on a substance. Now with my leg and everything that happened, I was on other medications, and so I was already struggling with the withdrawals from that. And I hate to say that everything happens for a reason, but being able to be in a residential facility and going on and being able to look into those options, I think kind of led to something that I might not have otherwise have found. And I wish I would have been able to take advantage of that before the last 4 years and the opportunities that I was given by you and by the courts and by everything else, because of the way that the downhill slide that my life has taken. It's the first time that I felt that I could do it, that I've said to you before that I thought that I told you I've wanted to. I don't know that I've ever said those words that I thought I could. I really do think I can. I think I was lacking that extra push or that extra support, and it would be structure and routine, and it would be one of the biggest regrets, thank you, of my life, if now having discovered that and had these things in place, if I wasn't able to take advantage of that. Sometimes things like routine and structure, you don't realize that you need until they're gone. I wish I would have stayed at 3.5 longer. I wish I would have stayed at New Beginnings longer. I thought I was ready.
Well, let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Let's go back. You started New Beginnings in April, right?
Yeah.
So take me through
Yes.
the New Beginnings program.
So, like the 45 days?
Well,
or like the
I don't
day?
know much about it other than
Sure.
what I've read and what I've talked to Ms. Wehagen about. So tell me what you did when you got there and how it progressed.
So for while you're in what they call the 3.5 phase, you wake up at 6:30, you do chores, and you have groups from 8 a.m. until essentially 4 p.m. every day or 3 p.m. every day. Obviously, there's food breaks and different things in between there, and then you have either meetings or outside the house, which you can get rides to, like AA and 12 steps, or you can do a meeting inside the house. And then after 45 days, roundabout, you can either, if you have stable housing, you can move out of the house, you can go to sober living if they have a bed for you, you can move to 3.1 while you wait for sober living, or I guess those are really the options.
Why do they call it 3.5? What is it?
I don't know, I think it's like a higher level of care than 3.1.
Do you know what that is, Megan?
I believe it's similar to the depression hospitalization
Okay.
program. It's a higher number of treatment hours provided per week compared to low intensity, which is 3.1.
Okay. So you do that for 45 days, then you move to the lower level?
And then you can, if you don't
So what
move
was
home
that like? What were you doing? What was the routine there?
in 3.1,
Yeah.
then it's you have group in the morning, and then you can get access to your phone and do job search, or you can work while you're on 3.1.
Okay.
People could have their vehicles there if they have like the proper licensure and insurance.
So that was sometime early May, or no, early June?
Yeah, yes.
All right, so what was the thing with the cocaine?
So that was after I had already left the house.
Left?
As in the 3.1 phase, that was after I had already moved forward from that phase.
Okay, how long were you in that phase?
I want to say it was only 2 weeks. I had housing. If you have housing, they don't keep you on that phase.
Okay, where was the housing?
In Ashtabula.
Okay. Where did you go?
I went with a woman who I met through Sober Support, who took me to all my meetings, who I had discussed previously with Megan. She worked at Glen Bay.
Okay.
Her name's Jennifer Matthews.
All right, so what was the relapse? What was that? What were the circumstances?
Circumstances were I was alone. I was going through my own belongings that I had unpacked, and I wasn't ready to be in physical contact with the substance. And it was like, I thought I just wasn't ready to be. I've never been in that situation before. I'd never been that soon out of a rehab or that soon, and I've never been in a room with a drug and not done it, to be quite frank with you. So I didn't know what that would look like. I wish I could say that I knew how I would handle that. I didn't. I made the wrong decision. I panicked.
What did you do about that then?
I panicked and I called New Beginnings.
Okay, and then what?
And then they said, come back in for an assessment. And then they said, come in Monday. And I said, I will. And when I hung up, I called my dad.
Okay, when was that? When did this happen?
The 4th of July weekend.
Okay.
It was before the weekend.
All right, so where are you now?
At New Beginnings.
Apparently, they don't do a great job of communicating with our probation department, which is frustrating to Megan and probably even more frustrating to me. So if you're at New Beginnings, you ought to tell them, I need information, okay? And they ought to do a better job of communicating with us, so we know what's going on, okay?
Okay.
So what are you doing on a daily basis now?
The mornings are the same. I have classes in the mornings, and then I had started the job at Bob Evans. It physically was too much for me. I wasn't ready for that, so I'm technically still employed by them, but I'm looking for other employment. And then, as Justin mentioned, I did get the preliminary offer for a management job at Pizza Hut. They just have to go through their supervisor, and I'm supposed to hear back this week.
In Ashtabula?
They've gotten me. Mm-hmm. And then I've been physical therapy. I continue with that 3 times a week, twice a week this week, and then I started the MAT program the week after I got there. I've been there 2 weeks now.
All right. And that's, the MAT is through UH?
Signature.
Okay, so what is it? What's involved with that?
So I had my assessment, and we went over my drug history. We went over the pain management stuff that I had, and the options that hadn't turned out to work for me. And then I went into the office for them to start me off on a low dose. I had originally asked them about the shot. They said that was probably too serious of a leap since I've never been on Suboxone before, also because that's in your system for a month.
What is their...
She said it's supposed to help with cravings,
Okay.
and
Cravings for what? Opiates?
for opiates and cocaine.
Okay. So do you take that every day?
Yes.
And do they give you enough dosage for a certain period of time, or?
So now they're doing it per week. They'll give me it for the week, and then the house gives it to me. It's twice a day, but half and half, and then they do it during their med times. when they have clinical staff there.
All right, so how often do you go to Signature Health?
Now I'm going weekly,
When you
and
go-
then they'll go to bi-weekly after I'm on it for, I think I have appointments set up for 2 months.
Is the only reason you go to get the medication?
I got blood work done. Yeah, I do a urine screen and then get the refill on the prescription, and then I speak with the doctor or the nurse
All right, so
to check in, just see how it's going.
with your rehab for your leg,
Yes.
what's that schedule like? You said 3 times a week right now?
This week I have it twice. I had it yesterday, I have it tomorrow, and then I had scans at UH last week downtown for, it was an EMG and an ultrasound for the nerve. The procedure is going to be nerve related. That's for the pain.
All right, when is the procedure?
They're supposed to schedule it next Friday.
And did they, when this happened, they gave you were on prescription medication? When the injury happened?
No.
After you were injured?
I was being prescribed it when I got out of the hospital.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I mean.
Yes,
What were you
I would-
prescribed?
Oxycodone.
Did you take it?
Yes.
All right. What are they telling you about the prospects for this surgery?
That it should be outpatient. He said, even if my scans hadn't looked the way that they did, which were good, that he could do it. He said it's supposed to, the way they described it is to open up the neural pathways that are not communicating with my upper leg to my lower, because the surgery was in my upper leg, and I'm having pain in my lower leg. So he said it's supposed to open up the neural pathways and alleviate, that's the word I'm looking for, alleviate the pain in the lower leg.
Okay. How often are you going to meetings right now?
Now I'm going to more like 4 a week.
Okay. And who's your sponsor?
For Walter Nelson is temporarily sponsoring me until I can find a more active or female sponsor in Ashtabula. He lives in
Okay.
Madison, so we're not able to meet as regularly as most people do. And also the house does not allow male sponsorship rides for men, so that's
Okay.
why I'm.
Did you want to say something?
Yeah, if you'd like to hear from
Yeah,
me.
go ahead.
Your Honor, I met Stephanie 2 years ago. She approached me at a meeting, and I guess she had been watching the way I live and said that she was very sad at meetings and bored at meetings and didn't like them, and that she found me very happy at them. And she thought that was very attractive. And I started talking with her. We spent probably, at that time, 4 months together every day, talking about sobriety, going to meetings every single day, and she stayed sober through that. There came a time where she had an issue, and sobriety is not a straight path sometimes. I truly believe that the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous says that God needs to beat us into reasonableness, and I believe that's true for drugs. You've probably experienced that in your life. And so, because of that, this last relapse that just happened here with Stephanie, I've heard something a little different from her. And sometimes I think we need to skin our knees because we don't think that we really have it as bad as we do. And I think that Stephanie started to quit fighting. And that's a key thing for me. In my 41 years of sobriety, I've seen and worked with thousands of people. I really believe, Your Honor, that confinement in prison or jail probably is not the best course for Stephanie. I don't believe she's violent. She's one of the kindest, sweetest, gentlest women I know. She helps others, she takes girls to meetings, and she wants to be part of sobriety. I think at this point, with the 41 years at stake of my sobriety, my word, I believe that Stephanie's on the right course. I wouldn't say that if I didn't believe it, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. When you go to the meetings, are they AA or NA? Or-
AA.
All right. right, anything else you want to tell me? All right, Ms. Naroda?
Judge, as the state discussed in chambers with defense counsel and the court, the state sees it a bit differently, and the state at this time feels the appropriate recommendation is a prison sentence.
So this entire case that you're here for now, you were semi-conscious, I guess, as well, from my read of the report, in your car on Plaza Boulevard, in which they gave you the OVI and then the possession of cocaine. What were you doing that night? Where were you coming from? Where were you going? It was 2:26 in the morning.
I was going home from my girlfriend's. I don't know why it was so late. I do remember that I was having issues with my contact lenses. They had been bothering me the whole way home. And I obviously stopped in a very inappropriate place to...
What had you taken that evening?
Substance-wise?
Yeah.
I know I took my gabapentin. I do believe that I had left my gabapentin at home. My girlfriend has cerebral palsy. She also is on gabapentin. I know there was some discrepancy over my medication, so I think that's why that hour of the night was what it was. I don't remember what substances I took that exact night. Obviously, substances were involved.
What was the story with the cocaine?
That evening, that there was cocaine found in my car.
Uh-huh.
What's the story?
Yeah.
Meaning like that there was...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in possession... Oh, that I was in possession of cocaine.
Where'd you get it from?
I don't remember.
Where did you normally get it from?
I had a contact out in Cleveland Heights.
Okay, who was that?
I do not know their name.
And how did you know how to find them?
They're in my cell phone.
How did you contact them in the first place?
I would have to think about that. I would have to think about who exactly I got it from.
How long have you and I been seeing each other?
Years.
8 years, roughly 7, 8 years? Okay. From being here, do you know enough not to try to bullshit me? Because
Yes.
when I ask questions, I ask questions for a reason.
Yes,
And
I was...
and the reason is I want to know the answer, because you're in a little interview here is what you're in, okay? So I want to know what I'm dealing with. And so when I ask you
Yes.
where you got it, the answer I'm looking for is where you got it.
I
How
got
you
it
came
from
into
whoever
contact.
I
Huh?
got it from my dealer.
Okay. And you just didn't, unless you just wandered down Euclid Heights Boulevard one day and found a dealer on the street corner,
That's fair.
you found a way to get in contact with the dealer. How was that?
It's very true. From the phone number that I have in my cell phone for this person, I would call them.
And you got that
Yes,
phone
they're
number?
in my phone. Their person's name is in my phone.
Right.
His nickname is ICE.
Okay.
I don't
And you-
have this person's their
Okay.
real...
And you got that,
handmade name.
you got that
Handmade.
name and contact number from somebody, right?
At some point, yes.
From who?
I don't know their last name. I
What's
don't
their
know the
first
person's
name?
The best identification.
The person's name is Tony. I don't know any other information.
Do you still have your phone?
I still have my cell phone. Yes,
Do you still have the contact in your phone?
probably. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, Is there a reason you want to keep ICE in your phone?
I don't have that person's phone. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm very, can I take a breath?
Yeah.
I just hear I'm just confused.
Would it be fair to say that you haven't deleted these, but that doesn't mean that you're actively contacting them? I mean, in the sense that I have people on my phone I have like 10,000 contacts on my phone.
Yes, I
But-
still
but-
have the same phone
okay.
number that I had
But
in
you haven't
February.
affirmatively deleted them, but perhaps you should. Is that what
I'll
you
get a
agree
whole
with
new phone number. I don't,
Okay.
I listen,
my dad has suggested that to me in the past. Yes, I'm getting confused about, I stumbled.
see, the concern is when things aren't going as well and something happens that throws you for a loop, that you're going to go to your phone and look under I and head up to Cleveland Heights. Okay, that stuff should have been deleted from your contacts a long time ago.
Sir, I understand, I can appreciate that, absolutely.
So, how many contacts do you have in your phone?
Hundreds.
Okay. So it'll take you a half hour to go through your phone, your contacts, and get rid of the schmucks in your contacts. There's no excuse not to do that immediately. Okay?
Yes.
Because the mindset that's still in your phone, in your contacts, whether you go to it or not, concerns me.
Okay.
Because we've been going round and round for 8 years now. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, right? Right? All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report. And I have listened to what you said. I've reviewed the letters that I received on your behalf that Mr. Kerr had provided to listen to your sponsor and to counsel. I've considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 29, 29, 12, and 29, 29, 13. I'm going to place you on community control on the new case for 4 years, on the felony. On the misdemeanor, I'm going to sentence you to 180 days in jail with credit, or with 175 suspended. You are to do 5 days by September 30th, or you're to report September 30th at 9 a.m. for 5 days, or you can substitute the driver intervention 3-day program and complete that prior to that period of time. Then those days will be vacated. And I'm going to suspend your license for a year, effective February 27 of 26, and you're going to pay the costs on that case. Are there any other mandatories I have to do on that, Lisa?
No.
I don't think that there are.
The
But,
fine.
oh, what is it? Is
It's up to-
is 575
I
the
believe it's
minimum?
575 now.
And a mandatory fine of $575.
Judge, the 5 days had to be done by September what?
30.
Or the driver intervention?
Or if she does the driver intervention program, then those days are vacated. So that's with regard to the OVI.
Your Honor, is it possible that the court meant to sentence Ms. Doles to a 3-day sentence, because that's how long the 3-day DIP program is?
No, I'm
Just-
going to give her incentive
I see.
to do the
Okay.
3-day instead of
Okay.
5 days in jail.
Okay, all right. That makes sense.
All right, on the 4 years on the community control, on the new case, 1 day in jail with credit for 1. You're to have no illicit drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. You're to complete the New Beginnings program and follow all their recommendations. You're going to continue the MAT program with Signature Health and follow their recommendations. You're to attend at least 4 AA meetings a week and maintain a sponsor. You're going to get a valid driver's license after your suspension is up. You're going to maintain full employment when you have that capability. You're to go to only your current doctors that you go to right now. How many do you go to? The UH and Signature? All right, so you're restricted to those folks right now. If you need a additional doctor or doctors, then you're to inform probation who they are. You go to only one dentist and one pharmacy for your prescription medication. Take your medication as prescribed. And, sign releases so probation can get your records. And please inform New Beginnings that when we request the information, we need the information. You understand that? Yes? All right, any other terms, Ms. Wehagen?
No, Your Honor.
All right, do you understand all the terms? All right, if you don't comply, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. If I find you violated, you face 12 months in prison on the 26 case. On the 24 case, I'm going to extend your community control to July 22nd of 29. There's also a potential 12 months on that case if you don't comply. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Naroda?
The extension date, I'm sorry, Judge.
7/22 of 29.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Kerr, anything further?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Stephanie, this is completely in your court at this point. Good luck to you.